Wow. Wow, wow, wow. What a time to be a wrestling fan, folks. I am shook from last night. Yeah. Thanks for rewarding me and the fans for watching NXT because sometimes folks feel like they're watching it without any payoff, but like I said, reward the fans and people will keep watching it live. What's up, guys? It's Will with Exposing IWC, and today we're talking about what the hell happened on NXT. Madness, NXT Madness. It was crazy. I was watching it. Some of you guys were not. Don't lie. Some of you guys will say that you're watching NXT live. You're not watching NXT. What's up, David? What's up, folks? You're not watching it, okay? But I watched it live. Therefore, I enjoyed the fruits of the NXT labor. Sometimes you feel like you're watching it and you're not getting any payoff, but you got payoff last night. Boy, what a freaking show. Now, I'm glad I'm streaming today because had I been streaming yesterday, I would probably be more negative because of the discourse online when it comes to Liv Morgan and Dominic and the Kiss and all that stuff and Raw. It was kind of annoying. So I'm glad I didn't go live yesterday. I waited for a more positive experience. You're going to get that now because I am actually happy about what we saw last night and not so negative about the IWC reaction to Raw. But yeah, it was great, man. We're going to talk about everything that happened on NXT. Oh, well, the big stuff, not the little stuff, not Gallus and some of the tag team action. No, we're going to talk about the big surprises that happened on NXT. Do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment if you're watching this on replay. And yeah, let's get started. Like I said, what a time to be a wrestling fan. I mean, I can't believe it. What's happening right now? NXT is cooking. It really is. We got some surprises. First of all we knew going into the show, all we knew was that Sexyy Red was going to be there. Sexyy Red, hip hop superstar on the rise. She's going to show up and kind of like do something. We didn't know what was going to happen, but she showed up. We found out that she's going to be hosting NXT Battleground. So the next PLE, she'll be there hosting it. Great for her. She was lit. She was vibing. She was shaking her ass all night. It really fit the NXT brand. More so, I think someone like a celebrity guest like a Sexyy Red or things of that nature fits NXT vibe more so than Raw and SmackDown. And that is a way that NXT can differentiate. I always struggle with that word, differentiate itself from the main roster shows. I think it's smart to do stuff like that. Have Sexyy Red in there, have her be a part of the show, multiple segments. Booker T was vibing. Booker T was having a blast. Booker T was hilarious last night. That man was reacting to everything that woman was doing. It was great. It's an experience. It's a different experience from SmackDown and Raw, which is good. It has its own type of audience, its own type of vibe. And if you continue that, it will draw, I believe. Not just for that, but because of the stuff we got later on, which can only really happen on NXT, and I'll talk about that later. You also got a freaking title reveal, that North American title. Here it is. Let me show you guys that. We got a new visual here of the NXT title. Lovely. If I know I got a better picture of this. Give me a second. But yeah, Sexyy Red holding the belt. It's a red belt. Fits her vibe. Let's pick up the bookmark here. I think I got it bookmarked. Just 1 second. Let's bring it up here. Where is that NXT title? Here it is. Beautiful. Show browser. Check it out. I like it. White with the red. I like the vibe. I'm not hating. What say you? You guys like this title? Looks good? Right. I think it looks good. Hey, what's up, Keenan? I think it looks good. It fit her vibe. It fixed the... So it was good that Sexyy Red was there to reveal the white and red belt. I like the belt. So she reveals the belt. So I'm like, all right, this is cool. Cool opening the show. I'm chilling in my bed. Full disclosure, I'm chilling, relaxing, watching NXT. Sexyy Red is there. She's vibing. She's twerking. Crowd's loving it. She shows off the belt. I'm like, okay, cool. This is a cool show. I thought that was pretty much going to be it. And we'd have a typical episode of NXT. Boy, I was wrong. Oh, by the way, I like that they told her to be herself clearly. Folks are wondering how she's going to come off on NXT. I think her vibe, her presence, it fits the show. They pretty much told her to do what she does. Go do you, boo boo. Okay, have fun. That's what they did because she was not holding back. She was twerking. She was having a blast, and it really elevated the show. I thought made it seem special, made it seem different than your typical NXT. I enjoyed it. It worked well. Maybe the kids should have not been watching it. Maybe the kids at home that you don't want to see it, maybe they were not showing, maybe they were shielded by the parents. Maybe that wasn't appropriate for the little kids, but I thought it was fine. It wasn't too egregious. So, Sexyy Red, A+ from me. I enjoyed it. Now, then we had good old Roxanne Perez. Now, Roxanne, bless her heart, she goes out there, she cuts herself a heel promo. Now, when it comes to Roxanne Perez, and I mean this with love and respect, and because I like Roxanne Perez, she goes out there and she cuts a heel promo, and her promos is not really a problem, just how it is, because what Roxanne has going for her is that she's likable. She's likable. You want to root for her. She's adorable. She's cute. She has all that going for her. So when she's cutting a promo, a heel promo, you tend to just smile. You're like, oh, she's so adorable. With all due respect, I say that with love. Like, she it's a good thing. Like, she's likable. So it's hard sometimes when she's cutting a promo to buy into her heelish words. Her look fine, her presence fine, but when she starts talking, it just comes across as cute and not so much. I'm smiling when she's cutting her promo, but not in the way I think I'm supposed to cut it. Not in the way I think it's supposed to come across. But ultimately, it's fine. She was great. I love Roxanne Perez, but I just noticed it last night. It was kind of like her heel promos are not really like not hitting in a way it should hit, but overall, it's better to have what she has. Like, she's likable. I'll take that any day of the week. Likability, being like her vibe, being cute, all that stuff, that works for her down the line. I'll take that over anything else. So no problem for her no problem for her in the future. She's going to be fine. But that's something I just clocked. Like, this heel promo isn't really hitting the way it should hit. But she did well, I thought, out there. She didn't stumble over any of her words. She was clear. But yeah, it just came across as cute. So she's out there. She's cutting her promo, right? And then she's like, all right, Ava, I'm here. What's the next, who's my next opponent? What's going on here? And then we got, again, full disclosure, I'm chilling in my bed. I have my phone to my left, my laptop to my right. I'm like, okay, come on, Tegan Knox. Let's go, Tegan. You're coming out here. I know it. Here comes Tegan. And no, it's freaking Jordynne freaking Grace. I'm like, what? What? The NXT TNA partnership is alive and well? Like, what is happening here? I was freaking out. Like, I was completely convinced that good old Tegan Knox was going to walk out there. I was. Did it happen? No, it was freaking Jordynne Grace. I love this. This is cool. This is awesome. This is what you want from NXT because it's different. It's fresh. It's something that can only really happen in NXT, She comes out there, she challenges Roxanne Perez to a match at Battleground. Now we have this. Now the talk is about TNA and WWE when it comes to NXT. This is because now everything's on the table, right? Oh, are we gonna get Moose in NXT? Are we gonna get Josh Alexander in NXT? Joe Hendry, is he gonna be in NXT, right? But I think people need to be clear. The conversation here is about NXT. I saw some tweet was talking about what do you say? The report, it was a bullshit report. Reports are that Jordynne Grace will be at SummerSlam. Like, what? First of all, that's bullshit, okay? Second of all, that's not going to happen because I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe the WWE wants to keep their main roster pure and their main roster special. What does that mean? What is the incentive to sign beyond money, beyond this, right? What is the incentive to sign with the WWE if other companies have access to your main roster talent? If they have access to your main roster PLEs like SummerSlam or WrestleMania, if they have access to your top talent like Bianca Belair, Cody Rhodes, if they can fight those people, what is the incentive beyond money to sign? There isn't one. You don't mess with the main roster so much. You're going to let the NXT roster, that brand, be the place where you have crossover. And if you want to get to the WrestleManias, if you want to get to the SummerSlams, if you want to get to that level, then you come to WWE, you become a main roster exclusive talent. That's what I believe is happening here. Okay, so that works in two ways. Will you get Bianca Belair versus Will you get Bianca Belair versus Jordynne Grace? No, but what you get will be a NXT brand that is more exciting because you may have this more crossover stuff. So that's a way for NXT to differentiate itself from the main roster stuff. You won't get a lot of main roster big shows down in NXT, but what you'll get is crossover. You're gonna get some TNA stuff. You may get some Mari Gold stuff. You get a Julia coming in. You may get a Tommy from Mari Gold. For all I know, you never know. But ultimately, we can experiment down there. Okay, that helps with building an audience for NXT. It helps with building excitement down there, and it's something that the main roster does not get. So you won't get that on the main roster, but you may get it in NXT, and that'll drive viewers to that program. Okay, so this idea where we're gonna get Cody Rhodes against NXT, no, we're not getting that. We're not getting main roster going down there to TNA. I don't believe. Maybe AJ Styles is a special case, maybe, but I do not believe we're gonna get a whole bunch of main roster talent going down to freaking TNA. I don't believe that. There will be a TNA NXT crossover, a Mari Gold NXT crossover. That stuff. That's the brand where you do that, and you keep the main roster special and pure in that regard. Because if you don't, then what is the incentive beyond money, you know? So that's my thought process with that. We're going to get, but the possibilities are now endless when it comes to NXT. We get a Worlds Collide, TNA and NXT Worlds Collide event. That could be awesome. Plenty of matchups there. Will we get just one-offs? I do believe we'll get NXT going down. Not down. That's a bad way to say it. I do believe we'll have NXT talent going to TNA. Maybe Roxanne Perez will pop up there. Maybe more like our heels will probably pop up there. Maybe Noam Dar. Metaphor will pop up in TNA. Gallus, maybe. Alexis King. Acts like that. Well, maybe a Fallon Hilly. We'll have them going to TNA for crossover events. But again, just to be clear, it'll be an NXT TNA thing, not a main roster thing. I don't believe that. Doesn't make sense. But I do believe that we can get plenty of NXT's crossover. Yeah, PW Insider Richard, I think. He said that PW Insider said that NXT talent will pop up in TNA soon. Yes, I believe that. They have no problem letting TNA have some NXT blood. That works. That's the crossover brand. Joe Hendry, that would be hilarious to have him singing songs. That's a good fit for NXT. That crossover there. I believe you can see that. I believe the next show, which is what, Thursday? Tomorrow? It's very possible we can have, even tomorrow, some NXT people pop up. Will that drive viewers? I don't know. I probably won't be buying in a subscription. I don't even know how to watch TNA. Like, I'm not ashamed to say, how do you watch that? Is it behind a paywall? I don't know. Will I be running to go see that? No, I'll probably just catch it on Twitter, whatever happens. But I would not be surprised one bit if we got some type of NXT presence on the next show in TNA. It's a good thing to have, a good crossover to have, a good relationship to have. So we have WWE crossing over with TNA. I think they'll be crossing over with Noah as well. Maybe some Mari Gold stuff down the line as well. So those are the big four. Three that WWE will be working with, I think. TNA, Mari Gold, in Japan and Noah in Japan, I think. Yeah, exactly. TNA, Marigold, Noah. I agree. And we are going to be benefiting from that. Now, is this going to be Forbidden Door PLE? I don't know. Will there be a Worlds Collide PLE? That's probably the apex of it. Like the highest level of it would be a PLE centered around TNA and NXT. That would take a lot of booking and storytelling. If you want to do that, could they do that? Sure, but I would want it to be more story driven, not just we have a random matches. It would sell great though. Either way, that could be an arena show. You can sell out 10 to 12,000, I'm sure, for the novelty in it. TNA, NXT for the first time in one house. That would sell tickets. 10 to 12,000 easy, I think. Oh yeah, and AJPW, yeah, that's possible as well. But Marigold would come first because Rossi. We'll talk about Rossi as well because he wants to. What I like about Rossi Ogawa, the man likes to talk. If you haven't noticed, and he said that recently that he wants to be in the WWE Hall of Fame. So now Triple H and Nick Khan are like, yes, you want to be in the Hall of Fame? We'll put you in the Hall of Fame if you give in to our demands. Ha 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 ha. I'm joking, but he wants to be in the Hall of Fame, or when he wants to be celebrated by the WWE one day. That's one of his goals. And I'm sure Triple H and Nick Khan love to hear that. Then he said that he doesn't know how long Julia will be in Marigold. So he's admitting that Julia will go. We knew that already, but he said it out loud that she's going to go at some point and be exclusive to the WWE. So Rossi likes to talk, which is good for me because I love for content creation and for discussion. I love that he likes to run his mouth. So ultimately, his goal is to be in the Hall of Fame for the WWE. Well, you want to be that? Make it nice with the WWE. I'm excited. It's exciting stuff. Like this whole Marigold stuff, the Noah stuff, the TNA stuff. It's exciting stuff. Do I want it to be more story driven when it comes to it? Yes, but it's exciting times for the WWE. In these comments about Rossi, he has. I'm not going to touch that because I don't know what's true or what's not true. He's being vague. So we don't know what Kenny Omega is talking about. Does he know something? I don't know. So I'm not going to really stress myself to think about what Rossi did that he won't elaborate on. So I don't know. But Jordynne Grace, man. Yeah, she also uploaded a video, which is cool to see. Behind the scenes video of her getting ready. This is a real moment, This is real stuff here. She's backstage in NXT trying to figure out how she wants to hold her belt. How does she want to hold it? How does she look in with the belt? Real moment, real nerves. I love this stuff. Awesome backstage view of a real life situation where she's preparing herself. She's nervous, about to walk out there. I love this stuff. I'm a big fan of Jordynne Grace. She's great. Do I believe one day she'll be in WWE? Probably. I think they like her a lot. Obviously, they like her a lot. She was really a good representation of TNA. She represented the company well at Royal Rumble, and now, because of that, she's here again because she's doing good work, and she's a good employee for TNA. Great representation for that company. I do believe when her contract is up, the WWE will probably give her an offer, and she will deserve it. She's young. She's 26, something like that. How old is freaking Jordynne Grace? Jordynne Grace. TNA. She is 28. She's 28. She's younger than freaking Mercedes Moné. She's younger than a lot of people. She has plenty. She's younger than Fallon Henley, for crying out loud. She's younger than Fallon Henley. So she has plenty of time. She's so young. She's 28. I believe she will be in WWE eventually. They like her a lot. I don't blame them one bit. She is she's very easy to like. So yeah, man, Jordynne Grace. Sorry, Tegan Knox. I was kind of chilling. All right, here comes Tegan. No offense, I like Tegan a lot. She's cool. I'm all right, here's Tegan. Here comes Tegan. Oh, what the fuck, Jordynne Grace? Crazy. All right, so. With that being said, after that, so we got that surprise. We got freaking Sexyy Red, got Jordynne Grace, and then we got another surprise at the end, which is probably smart to do that, double up the surprises like that. So Lash Legend comes out there to confront her man, Trick Williams, about what's happening with freaking Noam Dar and Metaphor. Someone taking out Metaphor. What's going on here? I want you to tell the fans, Tricky, that it wasn't you. All right. And then the screen goes black. I'm like, what is going on here? Who's coming out here? Because we knew it's not Trick Williams. We knew he didn't do the damn attack. And then we see Ethan freaking Page. I'm like, what? Now, I'm not too familiar with Ethan Page's work. I know him. Let me tell you how I know him. See, I'm gonna be transparent here. Unlike these other content creators gonna lie and say, oh, I know him from this and that. Let me tell you how I know Ethan Page. I know Ethan Page because when his contract was rumored to be over, there was this whole thing where people were wondering, is he still with AEW? What's going on? He shot that viral video on Twitter where he said, this is the truth, guys. He kind of made light of it and made fun of it. That's when I knew about Ethan Page. And there was talk about him there was talk of interest from other people. I'm like, okay, so Ethan Page is a talent from AEW. Once I saw him last night, then I went on the rabbit hole on YouTube and I looked up some of his stuff. Very good on the mic, very charismatic, talented. Like he has like really good mic skills, really. Solid in the ring. Will do very well in NXT with that character stuff work he has. Why they got the Sexyy Red stuff at the end of the okay. At the end of the that's weird. Usually they end with the last shot. So it's the last shot of the show here, basically. Hold up that NXT title. I think he's gonna do well. After doing my research on YouTube recently, I think Ethan Page here will probably do well in NXT with that because he can cut a promo. Right? He's gonna walk into NXT, be one of the better people on the mic, which is gonna help him tremendously. Now, does this match happen at Battleground? I don't know. You tell me. Does this happen at Battleground? Do you want to see it at Battleground? Either way, this is a big get for the WWE because right now, I believe in the men's division, NXT is kind of struggling. Now that Braun went up, Carmelo went up. I'm like, Dijak is out of there. They need some more blood down there, some type of energy. And based on what I've seen from him on YouTube, my short views on YouTube, I think Ethan Page can deliver something with some character work and some mic work down there. So this is good because NXT men's division needed some injection. You know, Gallus and Noam Dar and Metaphor in them, that's not really going to cut it for me. I need some. I like Lester King. I like Mr. King, but we need some more juice down there. And I think Ethan Page will help with the NXT men's division right now. I think the women are cooking, but the men need some help. It's struggling in the tag division as well, yep. And Trick needs some opponents. Because I was not looking forward to Noam Dar against Trick Williams. I just was not. I wasn't looking forward to what's the name of the guy who leads Gallus? I don't remember. Wasn't looking forward to that. So Ethan Page coming in there is much needed. Sean Spears wasn't cutting it. He's all right. Sean Spears is okay. We needed some actual blood down there. So I'm glad we got some Ethan Page in. So maybe we'll see how quickly he gets pushed to the top. Does he go straight to Trick Williams for the title? Might as well, I think. Because they were struggling in the men's division down there, I think, in my opinion. Because Tony D doesn't do it for me. Not a big Tony D fan. Sorry. I'm not. The Sexyy Red was funny. She was. Okay, so NXT, exciting stuff. This is what I'm talking about, folks. You have to reward your audience for sticking with the product. They didn't give us any indication that it was going to happen. All we knew was that Sexyy Red was going to show up. That's it. We didn't know anything about Jordynne Grace. How does NXT do it? How do they freaking keep things under wrap so long? We didn't know anything about it. The dirt sheets had no idea about any of this. Whatever they're doing down in NXT, they need to do it everywhere because people are not getting the scoops. The dirt sheets are in the dark. Unpredictable stuff. Now, the best part about doing this, the best part about not spoiling it and not giving any indicators, you are letting your audience know that anything can happen. Anything can happen on any given day. You better watch. You better pay attention because you might miss out on something special if you're not watching. They gave us no indicators beyond Sexyy Red being there. That's it. No way we could have known that Jordynne Grace was going to walk down that damn ramp. No way we were going to know that Ethan Page was going to show up. Don't tell us anything. Make us watch just in case, because you never know. That's the best way to get viewers. You never know what's going to happen. You got to show up and watch the show because you never know who's going to pop up. That's how you get viewers. That is how you do it, folks. So I'm looking forward to Ethan Page. Hopefully he can deliver some interesting stuff. It sucks how everything on the main roster gets leaked. Agreed. It really does suck. You were convinced that Tegan Knox was going to... Yep. Tegan, I thought she was going to show up. That would have been fine. I would have had no problem with Tegan Knox being there. All right, cool. Because in my mind, it's all leading towards Julia anyway. So no matter what, whether it's Jordynne Grace or Tegan Knox, I saw some people saying that Jordynne Grace should beat Roxanne Perez for the title. I'm like, are you out of your damn mind? First of all, there's a plan here. It's a plan for Roxanne to drop the belt to Julia, one. Number two, why in the hell would you have Roxanne drop the belt to Jordynne Grace? Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Why? Unless you have some big grand storytelling you want to do with NXT and TNA, I don't know why you would do that. You have a woman who is signed, right, by the way. Julia is signed. She's signed. She's signed to both companies right now. There's an agreement. You told her to get this damn surgery because you want to make sure she's ready for a heat wave. They told her that. Corey from Fightful, he let us know that WWE, and Dave, I'll give Dave some credit too, Dave Meltzer, he told us that WWE let Julia know that, hey, by the way, we want you to get the surgery. We're pushing for that. We're requesting that because we want you to be ready for a heat wave. You're not telling her that so she can come and fight Jordynne Grace. No, you're doing that for Roxanne. The plan is for Roxanne to drop that belt to her at heat wave. So you need her to be ready for that. So why the hell would you put the belt on Jordynne Grace? People would just be talking like, oh, put her on Jordynne Grace and then have Jordynne Grace lose to Julia. You're going to have someone who's not signed to your company drop the belt to Julia. Doesn't make any sense. That's Roxanne Perez's job, to lose to Julia in a big way at heat wave. So I don't know how they book it. I don't know how they're going to protect Jordynne Grace. Maybe a sneaky pin. Maybe Roxanne cheats because she's the heel. But either way, that's what I would do. I'd have Roxanne cheat, hold on to the rope, protect Jordynne Grace, and then you move on to Julia, someone who is signed, right? Triple H don't know how to book. Why would you say that? They saying. Why would you say that? Triple H has been cooking. He's been doing a good job these days with WWE, I think. Maybe you tell me. The main roster women's division is suffering with Triple H. May love. Not with the tournament, not with the Queen in the Ring. I thought the Queen of the Ring was very successful. That was great. But I understand your concern with the women's division, but I thought the tournament was good. In fact, let's wrap up this discussion. Any questions about NXT? And then we'll go into Raw, which is what I wanted to talk about last night before NXT dropped. I want to talk about that because people were getting on my damn nerves online. But we'll talk about that after we talk about NXT. So I'm going to wrap this up with NXT and move on to Raw. But I want to make sure I'm not forgetting something. What else? Talked about Sexyy Red. Talked about Julia in NXT and her plans for Heatwave. We talked about Jordynne Grace coming down from TNA. Talked about Ethan Page and his presence in the men's division. Hopefully he'll elevate that. What else? Right now, Rhea and Liv will have a good storylines. Yep. When will Julia step up to challenge Roxanne? Heatwave. That's why they're pushing for her to have the surgery. They're putting a metal like rod in her wrist to help heal it quicker. Because if she didn't do that, it would take longer. So they really want her for Heatwave. In fact, let me play. I'll play what I tweeted earlier today from Fightful. We have no reason to believe that good old Corey here isn't reliable yet. He's been pretty spot on. So this is him talking about. This is him talking about Julia here. I'll play it here. Make sure we have any background noise, anything weird. No, we don't. Okay, cool. Play it. 5, 4, 3, 2.
That the surgery would lead to her being back in the ring sooner, and that's why. Yeah, and the Wrestling Observer did report that WWE did want her to have this surgery, and I did ask around about that, and it was a very prevalent opinion that the surgery would lead to her being back in the ring sooner, and that's why WWE pushed it. They really are hoping she can appear Heatwave. That being said, if she's still recovering, if she's still in a brace, they might decide to just kind of ease her into it later in the year. That's what I've been getting. The surgery itself is basically just a small incision. They insert a metal slab into your hand and into your wrist, and there you go. It helps with, as far as I know, I'm not a doctor. I'm just going off what I've done in my own research about it. I'm not a doctor, but it does seem like a surgery that will lead to her being back in the ring a lot sooner than if she was healing naturally. So That's good news for everyone. One thing I do want to talk about, I know we talked about this before. Gloria now, I think there's more chance of Gloria being used on WWE programming now more than ever. When everything was coming out about Julia signing, when I was asking about that, there was a lot of no, there's no way they'll let her keep it. It'll be Def Rebel. But
Def Rebel.
Yeah, I now, especially with Jordynne shows up, she has her TNA theme, and so on. So again, there's a lot of moving parts in NXT right now, and I think in the coming months we're really going to see a new kind of version of NXT.
All right, so if you don't know what he's talking about there at the end there, Julia has a very iconic or a very loved theme song for her entrance called Gloria, and her stands and I'm sure she wants to use that. So the question is, will they use her Gloria theme, or will Def Rebel come in there and make a Def Rebel special? We're hoping that they let her use Gloria because it's pretty much synonymous with her. And he's saying because Jordynne Grace is coming in with her music, I don't see why she can't use Gloria. She used Gloria on the first show for Marigold, so why not bring Gloria over, that theme, use it for her appearance in NXT, then maybe down the line, if you join the main roster, you change it if you want to. But I think they should use Gloria for at least the first NXT run. I think they should use that. And he's saying it's very possible that they use that theme because of what we've seen with Jordynne Grace. And he also brought up the whole wrist thing and how they really want her to be ready for Heatwave. Heatwave is early July, right before the other match she has in Marigold against Sexyy. So she wants to be ready for that. So it's very possible that she could beat Roxanne Perez at Heatwave and then walk into Marigold against Sexyy as the NXT champion. That could be huge. And it makes sense because she's signed. She is an NXT superstar. She's signed already, okay? It's not as different. It's different than if Jordynne Grace won the title, right? She's not signed. Julia is signed and have an agreement with Rossi and Marigold. It's she's a superstar for WWE, basically. They called and say, hey, we want you to get a surgery. You only do that if you are under contract, okay? She's a superstar for WWE. So it's a little different. All right. What else we got here? Let's see. Does the OC win the tag titles? Yeah. That's a damn good question. I don't want to hate on the OC, but it's possible to give the old heads, the OGs, the damn tag titles in NXT. It's possible. It's very possible. Yeah, I see that. In fact, it's probably likely that the OC wins the tag titles in NXT. They can hold it for a little bit. They need something to do. You always give it back to Nathan Frazier and what's his face? Axiom. You always give it back to him. You see Julia confronting Roxanne after Battleground. That'd be smart. A lot of hype around Battleground. You have Jordynne Grace there. She wins. She beats Jordynne Grace by cheating, and then Julia walks in. That'd be good in Las Vegas. That'd be great. I would love that booking. All right, let's talk about a little bit about Monday Night Raw. We'll go back to, I'll answer any questions you guys have about NXT, but we'll move into Monday Night Raw and my displeasure with the IWC. Now, if you guys don't know, people were complaining about Raw. They were saying it was kind of boring. Like, what's going on here? Now, the reason I think people were bored is because or they felt bored because you had a lot of matches previously that had stakes, right? You had the King of the Ring tournament and the Queen of the Ring tournament, and those matches meant something. There was a goal, there was a purpose, they had stakes. The winner moves on. That went away. I knew this was going to happen. I knew the second the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments were going to end, I knew people would feel like a certain way about the show. Like, what was going on here? It's not as interesting anymore. Like, it's not as compelling. That's because these matches no longer have stakes. You have to wait now for the Money in the Bank qualifiers to have matches that have stakes with it. So if you don't have the luxury of having matches with stakes, you have to drive up the storytelling. You need to have some compelling stuff in the storytelling realm. And that did not happen on Raw. There wasn't any real development or progression. What they did was, it felt like they just kind of turned the dial and revved up the engines on some of the stories. They didn't really advance it or push it forward, but they gave it more heat and just turned the dial on it. For example, a great segment from Monday Night Raw was the Alpha Academy segment. Great segment. They elevated the story. They didn't progress it. It didn't develop. They elevated it. How? Had Chad Gable with his damn belt about to whip the shit out of freaking Otis, and Maxine had to jump in. So there wasn't any new development. They just turned it from 60 to 80, right? There's a whole tension of, will Otis turn? When is it going to happen? Is Otis going to finally stand up for himself? When is it going to go down? Is it going to happen tonight? And you thought it was possible it was going to happen that night, but it didn't. So if you miss this episode of Raw, you don't miss anything with the story. The story doesn't change. It's still, when is Otis going to freaking stand up for himself? When is he going to stand up to Chad Gable? That's still the story. So even though we had a great segment, the story did not change. You could have missed that segment and still know what's going on. Does that make sense? Like, it didn't develop. It didn't progress. It was a good segment, but it didn't change anything. So that's what people were complaining about. They're wondering why it was boring. I think I'm explaining it now. I'm explaining it like it was boring because the storylines did not advance and the matches had no stakes. Now, I still enjoyed Monday Night Raw. I understand if you didn't, but that's why you didn't enjoy it. That's why it felt different. Even with the Judgment Day stuff, that didn't really advance. We already knew that Finn and JD and Dominic Mysterio was talking to Liv Morgan. Now, the one thing that's different, the one thing that did progress is that we now know that Damian Priest knows. We didn't know before that Damian Priest knew, but he looked at Dominic Mysterio and looked at Finn Balor when he said, y'all been talking to Liv Morgan, right? He looked right at Finn. So he knows that Finn has been talking to Liv. We didn't know that before, but that's the only real new development. You could have missed episode of Raw and you wouldn't really have missed anything with the storyline, right? Nothing's advancing. They're just revving it up. They're turning the dial. They're enhancing it a little bit, but not really progressing it. So now we know that Damian Priest knows that Liv Morgan has been talking to all his buddies here. So the question is now, when does the ball drop? When does Liv Morgan pull her strings, call her shot, and take over the Judgment Day? That's a lot of the stuff that happened on Raw. Not that many new stuff happened in terms of character progression and story progression. And combine that with no stakes in the matches beyond the final, right? That has stakes. Let's talk about that for a second as well. Liv Morgan versus Becky Lynch. Fortunately, the entire show was kind of riding on that, and the match was not good. Sorry, Liv Morgan. Sorry, Becky. The match wasn't good. Got clues for the stories. Yeah, we got some clues. We did get some clues, Pedro, but nothing really advanced. But we got some little nuggets there. The main event was not good. Wasn't good. Didn't help that they ran out of time. We missed the start of the match. We came back from commercial break. The match was happening. The match ended very abruptly. It was kind of silly the way it ended. It made sense with having Bronson Reed. I'll keep getting Bronson Strowman and Bronson Reed like mixed up when I start saying it, the name. Braun Strowman was running around there, and he kind of helped execute the finish with hitting Dom into the steel door and swinging it and hitting Becky, and Liv Morgan got out. So yeah, the main event was not great. It wasn't great. One of the reasons why I believe Becky Lynch will be back eventually, maybe it will be when NXT gets not NXT, when Netflix freaking takes over in January. Maybe it'll be during Survivor Series, but eventually Becky Lynch will be back. That's not her last match. No way in hell. They would have made a bigger deal if it was. That being said, the match ends kind of a mediocre main event for a cage match. Liv Morgan goes to the ramp and the feed cuts for me. USA crowd did not get to see Liv Morgan putting a big old wet one on Dominic Mysterio, but the rest of the world did. Now, this caused the internet to freak out. And not in a good way. All right, I was kind of annoyed. So the discourse around Liv Morgan kissing Dominic, the discourse was weird around that kiss. You had people saying Dominic is married. What the hell's going on? You had people saying Liv Morgan is being weird about it. Like, people are just weird. Wrestling fans are so stupid. Like, these are performers. These are actors. Okay, it's not a big deal that they're kissing on screen. You watch actors kiss all the time in movies and TV shows. You don't blink an eye. But when a performer in the WWE or wrestling kiss, then it's oh my God, what's happening here, right? I think it's because of the uniqueness of wrestling. People put the actual character with the real person, and the lines are blurred. So you see Rhea Ripley, you see, oh, that's Rhea. That's not Demi Bennett. That's not Demi. That's Rhea Ripley. He's a real person. That's her character. Her character and the person is real. It's the same person. So when she kisses or hugs Dom, she never kissed Dom, by the way. Never kissed her. Never kissed him. But if Rhea Ripley gets close with Dom, oh, she's really getting close with Dom, and her actual husband should be upset about this. It's just weird. It's no different than acting a play or a movie, whatever. It's no different. They're performers, but they make it weird because there's this weird like dynamic between the actual person and the character where there's like this blurred line. It's weird. Okay. Now, people wouldn't shut up about that dynamic. Like, oh, what's happening is Dominic Mysterio's wife mad? Like, what are you talking about? Like, now I will say, so stupid. Now, but I will say that Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio never kissed on screen ever. Now we know. I think I know why now, because Dominic and Liv Morgan kissed and they didn't have a problem with it. I think Rhea Ripley they didn't kiss because Rhea wanted to spare the freaking vitriol and not vitriol, but online hating and trolling that would come to her significant other, Buddy, because he is in the wrestling business and he's easy to access. So it had Dominic Mysterio kiss Rhea Ripley on TV. They would gift that shit like crazy and post it to freaking Buddy over and over and over again. Oh, look at Dom stealing your girl. He's stealing your girl. Buddy, fight back. This stupid shit. I think it's smart in that regard. You don't want to cause that much friction at home because people are dumb. If people were mature and act like adults, then they could probably kiss on screen. But I think it was probably the smart call to not do that because you want to. If Buddy was a no-name, like not in the wrestling business, like just a regular guy with a regular job, then you could probably do it because how are you gonna troll him? You can't troll him, right? But because he's a superstar in wrestling, and because he might come back to WWE, whatever, you want to spare him that idiocy online, right? Dominic Mysterio, I don't know his wife. Who the hell is his wife? I know he's married. I don't know her. Is she in the wrestling business? No. So you can kiss Liv Morgan and she's gonna be fine in terms of online harassment, Same thing with Liv Morgan. I don't know who Liv Morgan is dating. If she's single, is she dating Buddy? Not Buddy, but Bo Dallas. I don't know because that's the rumor before that she was dating Bo Dallas. Is she still dating him? Who knows? Who cares? Right? She's not worried about that, and neither is Dom. But I understand Rhea Ripley being concerned about the trolling that Buddy would get from that. Yeah, I understand. So I get that. But people are just weird online. They're just weird, lames, losers, pathetic, schmucks. It's just like. They don't know how to act. They're making it weird. It shouldn't be weird. There's just two performers kissing. It's not a big deal. She's single. Okay, cool. So then she has, exactly, there's nothing to troll, right? There's nobody to troll her ass, right? Yes, Buddy will be trolled crazy. Agreed. He needed what he needed to do. Got big social media engagement. Like Richard said, a lot of people are talking about that damn kiss. It was smart booking this. We didn't see it, so I cannot wait for Netflix. Netflix era is going to change the game. Can you imagine longer matches, less commercials, matches not having to be cut because of time, because of streaming, so there's no like you don't have to worry about like time restraints, right? No, no like freaking muting of the F word or S word. Like you can curse on Netflix. It's gonna be a much better experience. It's gonna be like a PLE every damn Monday. It will be the A show. Raw will be the A show for sure when Netflix comes around for sure. But yeah, that was kind of annoying. That's my talk. That's my thought about the Liv Morgan situation in the kiss. Ultimately, it was a good spot, good decision because it did get engagement. And now we look to see how Rhea Ripley will respond to that kiss and how that will happen in the coming months. Do we think Rhea Ripley will return at Money in the Bank? Maybe. I don't know. I have no idea. Like her injury, she's been quiet. She's not really saying anything about her shoulder and when she's going to return, which is probably smart to do that. So we don't know when she's coming back. I hope they know. I hope they have an idea. That's why they're pushing this Dom thing, because they have a idea of when this is going to happen, hopefully. But we don't know. Let's move on to Uncle Howdy. Quick question about Uncle Howdy. Yeah, US Network L. Yeah, nothing about her injury. I think it might be smart. Maybe they want to conceal when she's going to return, because if you know that she's ready to go, there might be like they might build some anticipation about it, so they want to keep it under wraps because they're not exactly sure when they want her to return. So better just keep it under wraps. Don't tell them how far you progressed. That way, surprise. Maybe she just pops up at Money in the Bank. Maybe she just pops up at SummerSlam. Because the way I see it, I kind of broke it down on Twitter here recently. Triple H likes to alternate title defenses for the women. So the world champions, they alternate for the women for whatever reason. And I think it's very possible that Liv Morgan does not defend at SummerSlam. It's possible. Because remember, Rhea Ripley didn't defend at all at SummerSlam last year. So if Rhea didn't defend, Liv Morgan might not defend. But I saw that there's a trend with Triple H with the booking. It alternates. Let me find it really quick to make life easy for myself. Where is it? 1 second, I'll find it. Yeah, he's going to alternate title defenses for the women, I think. Where are you? I went too far. I think I went too far. Yeah, it's after Monday Night Raw, right? Isn't it after Monday Night Raw? Where are we? I tweeted Liv Morgan's picture not too long ago. Here it is. Okay, here it is. I skipped it like twice. Here it is now. Twitter split. All right. Let me chop this down a little bit. Cool. So we had Backlash with Bayley versus Naomi versus Tiffany Stratton. King and Queen of the Ring was Liv Morgan and Becky. Clash is going to be Bayley and Piper Niven. Liv Morgan will not defend there. I do not believe she will. Money in the Bank might be Lyra and Liv Morgan. Then SummerSlam, we know it's Nia Jax against someone, probably Bayley, because we assume Bayley will be champion then. They already teased it. So SummerSlam will be Bayley versus Nia Jax. And then potentially, assuming she doesn't defend at SummerSlam, I don't think she will. She may not. Judging by this trend, we may get Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley at Bash in Berlin. So that's a viable path here, because Triple H likes to alternate champions. Alternate. So I would not be surprised. Considering Rhea Ripley did not defend at SummerSlam last year, who's to say that she'll defend, or who's to say she'll challenge at SummerSlam? She might return. We can see her return at SummerSlam, but I would not be surprised one bit if they postpone the actual match until Bash in Berlin to alternate the title defenses like they've been doing for the last couple of years under Triple H. What do you guys say to that? Do you agree, or do you think I'm full of shit? Do you think it's possible we don't get Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley at SummerSlam, but we get it at Bash in Berlin instead, based on this alternating tendencies here, or this trend here? This makes sense. Yeah, I think it's what he's doing here. I don't hate it. Like whatever. Like you don't need to have both matches. You don't need to have a Liv Morgan and a Bayley defense at SummerSlam. You don't. You don't. He wants to have like 7. I think SummerSlam will be a longer show, maybe 7 matches. I don't think you need to have both of them there. You can postpone it. You can have her return at SummerSlam, have that be a big deal, and have the match at Bash in Berlin. You could do that. Depending on how she's feeling. Like, is she ready to go? Like, is she ready to go? I don't know. No one knows if she's ready to go. You don't like the idea? Yeah, I don't like or hate it. I'm just like, is this what's going to happen? That's my question. I'm wondering if this is the plan. If we know Bayley and Piper Niven are going to have that fight at Clash, Liv Morgan will not defend, which means Liv Morgan will defend at the next PLE. Maybe Bayley's off then, right? That's what we like to do, this alternating schedule. Bayley versus Blair at Berlin. Blair Davenport, mean? Maybe. But I think, again, if she defends at SummerSlam, then she won't defend at Bash in Berlin. Isn't that what he did last year, right? Because Bianca tried to win the belt. She did win the belt at SummerSlam last year, and then Io cashed in, right? And then Payback was Rhea Ripley's turn, right? Then at Payback, it was all about Judgment Day. Yeah, Rhea Ripley did not defend at Money in the Bank or SummerSlam last year. That was crazy, right? That was crazy. She defended at Payback. But I think that's what's going to happen. I could be wrong, but I think he's going to alternate these title defenses. So we won't see. It's potential. We won't see Liv Morgan against Rhea until Backlash. But we'll see. I don't know. Anything's possible with Triple H. All right, what else we got here? Okay, Uncle Howdy. Now, I believe that Uncle Howdy, we may have a precursor of what's going to happen. We may have a precursor of what is going to happen later on with Uncle Howdy and his presence on the show and the White Six. So if you didn't watch the last teaser we got here, it was easily the creepiest teaser we got by far. It was like low-key, like insanely creepy here. Check this out. I don't think we're gonna freaking copyrighted for this. But here we go. Here's the Uncle Howdy tease. Oh yeah, I gotta. It's muted for whatever reason. Let me unmute this.
Honestly, I'm surprised.
Let me check this. Make sure nothing's gonna be loud over here. No. Okay. My freaking headset turned off for no freaking reason. Okay. Then this crap. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
Thank you to everybody who voiced so much concern about me being missing. Honestly, I'm surprised everyone was so worried. I was completely fine and never in any danger. I'm just thankful he set me free.
This is easily the creepiest thing they've done so far. By far, the creepiest thing. Now, let me show you this. Is it possible, as she stares in the camera with like this weird, creepy smile, is it possible that this is the direction for this group? They're going to kidnap people. Everybody they kidnap will be like brain dead like this. They'll be hit in a trance, or they'll be brainwashed like this. Is this the direction for them? Because it happened to this lady. Who's to say that now, when they come on the main roster, every time they kidnap someone or grab someone, they're going to come back like this? I think it's possible that this is a precursor or a foreshadowing what's going to happen. Modern cult now. Yeah, I think it's possible that this could be the direction for this group. That every time they will grab somebody, take them in, and then they'll come back looking like this. staring at the camera for like a good...
I'm just thankful he set me free.
Actually goes longer than this. It cuts. This goes longer. The actual one goes on for like good 20 seconds. She's just staring at the damn camera like weird. I think that this could be the direction for the group going forward. Potentially, they will kidnap people and brainwash them like that. And it'll be like a cult. Or some type of like nefarious, I don't know how you want to call it, but it's very possible that's the direction for this group. But we'll see. I just thought about it the other day. I thought it was interesting that may be where they're going with this character or this group. We'll see. Alexa Bliss, I'm guessing, will be involved as well. When will they pull the trigger? Maybe Clash of the Castle. But we don't really know for sure. What do I have next here? Let's see. Let's talk about Becky Lynch. I talked about her a little bit earlier. Becky Lynch is on the hiatus, which I predicted was going to happen. Her last match this past Monday was not the best. No promo, no nothing, no real hint beyond a little promo she had with Lyra Valkyria. I think it's possible that Becky Lynch is going to be off for TV for a while, longer than people expect. She has not signed a contract yet, I don't think. I think she will ultimately, but I'm guessing they're going to want to have her for Netflix for sure. So did she come back before that? Some Survivor Series maybe, but a lot of people were worried that Becky Lynch's time in the WWE was going to be over. I don't think it's... You don't have to worry. Especially with this whole AEW rumor. She's not going to AEW. I don't care what anybody says. Call me crazy. Clip this video. Bookmark it. She's not going to AEW. That's not happening. I don't care what anybody says. I do not believe that woman is going to AEW. I believe she will be taking a break. I believe that. I'm hoping she comes back as a heel. A heel or a tweener. My favorite Becky Lynch was I'll confess, say what you want to say. My favorite Becky Lynch was Big Time Bex. She was funny. She was interesting. She was creative. She was having more fun by her own admission. She was having more fun. I want her to have more fun. I want her to have more freedom as a heel. Come back as heel, not the same character, not the man, not Big Time Bex. A new version of Becky Lynch that's more of a heel than babyface, and have fun. Be creative. I think that's her best work for me. The work she did with Bianca Belair, that stuff was hilarious. It was funny. It was interesting. I was looking forward to her promos every week. People were saying that was bad or she wasn't a good heel. I think that's nonsense. She was great. It's my favorite version of Becky Lynch. The man, this recent babyface, the man version, I have not enjoyed it. It's been kind of bland, boring, predictable. She says the same thing every week about how she's fighting for the locker room. She's fighting to leave the things better than how she left it. She's fighting for women and like all that stuff. That's all great, but it's the same thing over and over again. It's not interesting or compelling at this point. I think they need to lean into a new character that's more of a heel, and maybe she can then put someone over as the elder statesman who's done it all, you know? Or stateswoman, however you say it, who's done it all, you know? I don't think we need to go back to babyface Becky for a while. I think we need to go more in a different direction that's going to let her be creative and inspire her. She herself says she has more fun as a heel. She's earned that right to continue as a heel. We have more than enough babyfaces on the rise from NXT coming up eventually. She could be a heel now and it'll be fine. Yes, I agree. Her heel work was amazing to me. It was interesting, creative. That stuff she did with Lita, where she like came in looking like a freaking like teenage girl that was her hero disappointed her or her hero let her down. She was all sad about it. That was interesting. The stuff she did with Bianca Belair, that promo she cut where she said, "My precious, this is my precious title." That stuff. Freaking quoting Bible verses in her promos. That was interesting. That was fun. That was cool. That was funny. All that stuff she did was better than the babyface stuff she's doing now. I think they need to let her cook as a heel, be more creative, and tweener. Yeah, be more of a tweener. Yeah, I'll take tweener. Let her be more creative. Let the creative juices flow. I think that's the direction they should go with Becky Lynch going forward. Not so much the man. I fight for the people. I fight for the fans. Don't shake your ass, Becky Lynch. Not the best, not the most compelling. That was getting boring for her. Let her lean into spicy, tweener. Never know what you're gonna get, Becky Lynch. That's what I want to see. Never know what's gonna happen. Is she gonna be a heel? Is she gonna be babyface? What's she gonna say? What's gonna happen? That's all I want to see for her. She's one of the best ever on the mic. Let her do that. Let her be. I think heels, we all know, heels get to have more freedom on the mic. Let her have more freedom. Big Time Bex was awful. I disagree. Richard, I disagree. It was not. For me, it wasn't. Her work with Bianca Belair was fantastic. It was interesting. It was fun to see what you're going to say every week. Beyond that, I think that's it. I was going to talk about Edge getting injured, but that's old news now at this point. The man is not very smart for jumping off a damn cage at double or nothing, landing straight-footed, like straight up and down on his legs, broke his leg. He's going to be out for a while. Silly spot, very silly spot. The man is 50 years old. He's jumping from a damn cage. Not the smartest idea, Mr. Copeland. He blocked me on Twitter for no reason, like a year ago. He searches his name. Adam Pearce and Adam Copeland, aka Edge, they searched their name on Twitter for whatever reason, and it blocked people. They're weird. I don't know. Never. It says something about you. If you're searching your name, it's one thing if they're tweeting at you. If they tweet at you some nonsense, then block them. But if if I fire off a tweet, you're searching for it, you're searching for your name, and I don't like that. Block. That's weird. Don't search your name and block people that say negative things because they're not coming at you. What did I even say about Edge? I think I said that when he's in WWE cutting those boring promos, I said I don't love that Edge promo. I got blocked for saying I don't love the promo. That's all I said. I didn't like the promo. I got blocked. Oh well. Not gonna help your promo, dude. All right. Promo was still bad, but whatever. This is my opinion. Oh yeah, Mercedes Moné tonight is having a celebration for the TBS title. It's now the top title for the women. It is the A title. Sorry, Tony Storm. Your title is now the B title. Mercedes Moné has the A title now. I don't make the rules. I don't make the rules, folks. But that Mercedes Moné belt is going to be treated like the top belt. There's nothing you can do about it, Tony. You're wrestling freaking Serena Deeb. She's now the top earner, and she has a belt. It's over. Same thing for Ospreay. Ospreay now has a belt. It's over for Swerve Strickland. It's over, Swerve. I'm sorry, it's over. Will Ospreay and Mercedes Moné are going to be elevated now, and their belts are going to be treated like the top belts now. I think Tony Khan cannot help himself. He can't help himself. Tony Khan he can't help it. That's what's going to happen. That is what's going to happen. I'm convinced of it. Yeah, he doesn't care about Swerve. Not with. Watch Dynamite tonight. Check out Dynamite. If Will Ospreay is there with that belt, elevated. If Tony Storm is there and Mercedes Moné is there, which it will be, Tony Storm downgraded, which I'm happy about because I don't love her character anyway. Mercedes Moné elevated. Watch tonight. The biggest stars in terms of presentation will be Mercedes Moné and Will Ospreay tonight, guaranteed. Some of you guys don't watch AEW. I won't say that I watch it every week, but if you watch it tonight, I guarantee you, Moné, Ospreay elevated tonight on the show. Let's see. What the hell is Chris Jericho talking about? So Chris Jericho talking about Becky Lynch joining AEW. 5 years ago, Becky Lynch would have no other option. I'm not saying that she's coming, but there is an option. And who knows what could happen, you know? No one thought Jericho would go to AEW. No one thought Moxley, yada. Becky Lynch is not going to AEW. It's not happening. Okay, I'm not worried one bit. It's not happening. I don't care what anyone says. I will delete my account if Becky Lynch signs a contract with Tony Khan. Okay, that's not happening. Sorry, that's not happening. She would rather. I would expect her to go to Hollywood. I would expect her to freaking stay home than to go to AEW. Enjoying what storyline? Freaking Mariah May sticking her tits in people's faces. I mean, that's what she's doing. She's motorboating people. Is that what Becky Lynch wants to be a part of? I doubt it. I don't see it. Becky Lynch chasing the TBS title? No, it's not happening. Becky Lynch is not going to fucking AEW. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. What else we got here? That's how I really wanted to cover, guys. Do you have anything for me? Any news? Anything you want me to talk about? Beyond Jericho thinking Becky could go to AEW? What you got? Look at Rossi talking about. Rossi does not want to shut up. I love it. The man can't shut up. Look at what he said here. Stardom is a good example of what not to do in Mariko. Shitting on Stardom. This is what not Stardom is what you shouldn't do. Don't follow Stardom's lead here, folks. He's saying that Stardom has a lot of wrestlers. Same thing with AW. AW has a bloated roster, and Stardom has a bloated roster. He's saying that he wants to keep his roster number down. Less women on the roster because it's hard to book everyone, and you want to have a limited roster, he's saying. And it's better for business, he's arguing. So the Stardom model of having a bunch of freaking wrestlers apparently is not the way to go, according to Rossi. Rossi he keeps talking. I love it. Don't shut up, man. I'm loving all your content you're giving us. But he's saying that Stardom has too much wrestlers. So, yeah. Don't expect Marigold to sign up a bunch of wrestlers anytime soon. Don't be looking to go to Marigold, folks. Because Rossi is saying it's too much women in Stardom. He has a point. I agree. He does have a point. Keep the numbers. There should be a nice balance. Because you can always have a situation where you have a lot of injuries. And that could happen, and then you're kind of stuck. So it should be like a decent balance between, like, you know, just good enough wrestlers that if you have a injury like a crisis, you can have some people to step up, but not a bloated roster. I don't think that makes any sense, especially for a promotion that just started up. Keep the numbers down. Thoughts on Braun Breaker's angle? I love it. Braun Breaker is a force to be reckoned with. He cannot be stopped. He cannot be contained. He is getting a major push, and I believe he'll be champion sooner rather than later in some respect, in some regard, whether that be a mid-card title or maybe even chasing. He's an odd. If it wasn't for like the heavy hitters, I could see Braun Breaker winning the Rumble or the Chamber like next year, like this year. But I think it might be a little too early. Maybe next Rumble, next Chamber are possibilities. But I think he's going to be pushed to the top of the division very quickly. And I'm here for it because that man is great. What was that freaking, I think I can, let me see if I can find it. There was a video of him like sprinting like during the crowd to go spear Ricochet. It was freaking amazing. This dude is fast. He's athletic. Where is that video of Braun Breaker? Here it is. Check this out. Here's Braun Breaker running to go spear the hell out of Ricochet. Here we go. Show browser. Here it is. Check this out. He's stalking him, stalking his prey like an animal. Look how fast he moves. Check this out. Boom, move, go. Bang! You may not be able to see that as well, but check it out later on. This dude is fast as hell. The sky's the limit for this dude. The sky's the limit. Talented, athletic, good in the ring, can cut a promo, has the size, has the look. He is going to be a massive star in the WWE, man. Massive star. Bronson Reed, that's a good match. Braun Strowman against Braun. Have him beat Braun Strowman to show him to show how strong he is, to elevate him, have him beat Braun Strowman clean. That's what you gotta do. Have Braun Breaker spear the hell out of Braun Strowman and beat him. That's what I would do. Sorry, Braun Strowman, but I will have you job to Braun Breaker for sure. Will one of the tag team champions, men, defend at Clash of the Castle? Probably. Here's a question. What's the popular Scottish or UK team that's a tag team right now? Newcastle Republic? Is it Newcastle Republic? Is it Pretty Deadly? Whatever the UK team that's a tag team, you would then match them up with the appropriate tag team. So I don't know what Pretty Deadly is doing. I don't know what Newcastle Republic is doing, but potentially that's your match. That's your tag team match. Let me check something out real quick. Because Pretty Deadly, they've been off TV for a minute, right? So yeah, either Pretty Deadly gets a title match or Newcastle Republic gets a title match. Is Pretty Deadly on SmackDown? What show is Pretty Deadly on? Yeah, probably Newcastle Republic. Because oh, that's true. Street Profits are mixing it up right now with A-Town Down Under. Yeah, it's one of those two. I have to be honest, the tag team division for the men are not really interesting. Tag team division in general, men and women, are not that interesting. So either one's fine. I don't care. Newcastle's on Raw. They're kind of baby faces, right? Yeah, that won't work. So, and Pretty Deadly are heels. I don't know how they're gonna do it because you want to have a babyface heel dynamic. You could do New Catch versus Awesome Truth. I would do that. New Catch versus Awesome Truth is what you should do, I guess. That's what you do. Yeah, they need to rebuild the tag division, I think. Do you watch the EO Raged English subs? I did. I don't remember what you said, but I did watch that for sure. EO hates Lyra Valkyria. A lot of people were wondering, why was EO mad? Like, what's going on here? She's mad because she lost last week. Yeah, last week to Lyra. And she had that little rant when she ran down the she didn't run, but she stomped down the backstage area, knocking things. What happened on Raw was a continuation of her anger because Kyrie went out there and lost to Lyra again, or two. So she was mad that Lyra is still winning. So that's the feud. While Liv Morgan is doing her Judgment Day mumbo jumbo, we're going to get EO against Lyra. That's the story. And probably Lyra will win that feud. If you want Lyra to then challenge Liv Morgan at Money in the Bank, then she has to stay strong to a certain degree, which may mean some EO stands will be upset going forward because EO might have to lose to Lyra again. But I'm thinking he'll win. I think EO will win the next round, the next match against Lyra, but I could be wrong. But that's the story right now. That's the feud. Lyra against EO. Where will it go? I don't know, but that's the story. Yeah, she's mad at Lyra, but she's kind of taking her anger out on Damage Control because they lost. By they, I mean Kyrie lost. Kyrie Sane lost. All right, guys. That Bayley will get cheered at Clash. Piper will get cheered too. Yeah, I agree. Piper will get some love, and Bayley will get some love as well, like always, because Bayley is very much loved internationally. Jade and Alba fire. Well, Jade and Bianca against Alba and Aladon. Yeah, I think both those matches will get a good reaction. I do think the Unholy Union will not get booed. I think Aladon and Alba Fire will definitely get a lot of support. They may even get more support than Bianca and Jade. We'll see. It's kind of hard to boo Bianca. We've seen it's tough for that to happen, but we'll see how that goes. Yeah, it'll be like it'll be interesting how the crowd reacts to Bayley against Piper and Bianca and Jade against the Unholy Union. That'd be interesting to see. All right, folks, that's it for the stream. Unless you have any lasting questions or comments or concerns, I think that's it for the stream. Again, exciting times for Be a Wrestling Fan, folks. Exciting times. NXT's popping. Watch NXT. They are rewarding the folks that watch. We got crossover from TNA. We're going to have crossover from Marigold in a way with Julia coming down the road because she'll be a Marigold wrestler at the same time as an NXT wrestler. So we get some crossover there. A lot of stuff happening with Noah wanting to get involved here. It will all be in NXT. All of it will be an NXT thing with Noah, with Marigold, with TNA. NXT is where it lives. That is going to make that brand must see, which is good for coming up on the CW because we know that that's where NXT is going to be on CW on network television. So NXT is going to be a good show to watch, folks. Last question from David. Will Bayley/Piper have a promo on Friday? I would think so. Because, in the ring, maybe not. Because Nia Jax, I think, will have an in-ring promo because they're going to coordinate her as queen of SmackDown. She's going to have a coronation. Will Bayley have an in-ring thing? Probably not. She probably should. But I think they'll reserve that for Nia Jax. Nia Jax will have the in-ring promo, and so will Cody Rhodes. Who confronts Nia Jax? That's a question. Because Bayley has a story. Maybe Bayley. That'll be unfortunate for Piper Niven, but I think it's possible. I think Nia Jax will cut a promo. Bayley will interrupt her because that's the storyline. The overarching storyline, the non-filler. The filler is Piper Bayley. That's filler. Piper versus Bayley is filler. Nia Jax versus Bayley is the actual story. So I think she will interrupt Nia Jax. Then Piper Niven might attack her from behind or something like that. Hey, don't forget about me. I'm the person you should be worried about right now, So that's the story. That's my prediction. Nia Jax promo. Bayley interrupts. Piper Niven attacks Bayley from behind and sets up the Clash of the Castle match, which she will then win. Then the focus will be Bayley against Nia Jax going forward. All right, folks. Thanks so much for joining. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment if you so choose. I'll be back maybe tomorrow. Definitely Friday for SmackDown. Catch me on Twitter. I'll be looking at the rest of the reaction to Jordynne Grace. Appreciate you guys, and I'll talk to you guys later.